Okay guys, so the question that we'll be solving now is find duplicates in array. Okay, so over here we have been given only an array of n plus 1 integer between 1 to n. Okay, so basically an array is given and in between it we have integers ranging from 1 to n plus 1, and we have to find one number that repeats in linear time using, okay, so we have to basically find a number that repeats. Okay, and then we have to just use O of n space. Okay, we have to use less than O of n space, and we have to traverse this stream sequentially. Okay, O of one time. Okay, a lot of constraints are there. Cool. So the thing is, over here if you can see, okay, 34141 and the output is 1. Okay, so basically we have to just return any value that is repeated. Okay, so there are different ways to do this. Basically one way that we have, right? So suppose if uh, so the one way that I can feel of, okay, or that I have written over there is basically, if suppose my array is 3 4 1 4 1, so what I can do is I can just go to this position. Okay, so I can just go to this position and just change its value over there. Okay, so what I will be basically doing is I will be changing my a of absolute a of I, okay, to a minus a of absolute a of I. Okay, so what do I mean by this? So basically, suppose my I is equal to 1, okay, or suppose my I is equal to 0. So now what I am doing is I am doing my a of I, okay, equal to minus a of I. Now what does this mean? So basically my a of 0 is 3, okay, and now it will be equal to minus of a of 3. Okay, minus of a of 3. So basically a of 3 value is 0 1 2 3. So now my 4 will be actually minus 4. Okay, now what will basically happen is if we iterate, or if we go on that index again, okay, if we observe that index again and we find out that that is negative. Okay, if we find out that that is negative, then in that scenario we will just return that yes, there is a number, and we'll return that number. Okay, so we'll just return the absolute of that number. So this is one of your approach, but now the question over here is actually not that correct. Okay, so so I guess maybe the thing that they were asking was we have to find the number, okay, like numbers like 3, so basically the number that is not repeated, and like that is the reason why they have given this constraint. So basically that logic will be, now suppose if I want to find a number that is not repeated, right? So now suppose what I can do is basically, if my the condition, okay, the constraints for this thing is basically if my any one number is repeated. Okay, if any one number is repeated twice, so in that scenario what I can do is I can just find the sum of the entire series, so it will be n plus 1 upon 2. Okay, and then I can manually find the sum of the entire series that I have. Okay, so I can manually find that sum, and then I will just subtract these two to find the value that is missing. Okay, or you can say that is what do you can say, yeah, that is missing, or that is single. Okay, so if we just see over here, so we have 3 4 1 4 1. So we won't be taking this example. Okay, this is not the good one because the number can't be repeated twice. So for this thing to work, you should have just one number repeated. Okay, so maybe we will have 4 repeated. Okay, so now what will happen is, now if we sum all of these, so basically this is 3 4 4, so 8 10 and 14. Okay, so your sum is 14. Now if this was a normal series and each and every element was there once, okay, if they appeared once, so it will be basically 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so the sum of this is 5 5 plus 1 upon 2. Okay, that is 5 into 6 upon 2, so 3, so 3 5 is 15. Okay, so the answer is now the sum that I got, okay, or that we got is 15. Now if we just subtract this thing, okay, so if we subtract 14 minus sorry 15 minus 14, we will get, okay, just a second, if we have till 4 4 5 6 7 7 8 9 1 10. Okay, 10. Okay, sorry, not till this thing. Okay, we will just go a little bit for, like, not till this entire stuff. Okay, so my n will be n minus 1. Wrong. Okay, cool. So basically I will have 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so I will just find the sum till n minus 1, and that will be my 4 4 plus 1 upon 2, okay, and that is my 2 into 5, so that's 10. Okay, so now if I do 14 minus 10, I will get 4. That is the number that got repeated. Okay, now another approach to this question can be of XOR. Okay, so your XOR is basically, if this is my A, this is my B, so I have to find A XOR B. So what will happen, if both of them are 0, then my answer will be 0. If both of them are 1, then also my answer will be 0. But if they are different, then in those scenarios only my answers will come as 1. Okay, now what we will do is, we will basically XOR the entire thing. Now suppose if I have 3 4 1 2 4. Okay, so if I represent this entire thing in bitwise operation, then my 3 is 0 0 1 1. Okay, my 4 is 0 1 0 0, my 1 is 0 0 0 1, my 2 is 0 0 1 0, and my 4 is 0 1 0 0. Okay, so now if I XOR this entire stuff, so 1 and 1 are same, right? So 0 1 and 1 are same, so 0. This one is also 0. Okay, sorry, I missed some. Okay, I had a 1 over here, right? Cool, not 2, it was 1. So over here I will get 1. Got it? So basically I can see that my 1 got repeated. So that's the stuff. Not actually 1, my 3 got repeated. Okay, so basically we will be using this thing to find the unique element. Okay, so let me just remove this part. Yeah, so over here I have 1. Okay, so if I just XOR these things, so what will basically happen is, again we'll write this stuff. So basically if you XOR this into this, right, you will get 0. If you XOR this into this, you will get 0, and finally you will get this answer. So basically number n, okay, XOR the same number is basically equal to 0. Okay, so that is the logic that we are using over here, so that we can find this unique element. Now all these were different approaches to find the number that is unique. Okay, that was not related to the question. Now there is another method to solve that question, and that is your fast and slow pointer. So basically what we'll do is, we will move inside the array, okay, in a form of what you can say, we can convert it into a form of graph. Okay, and we can then move into that. So basically what happens is, you have a slow pointer that moves with the speed of 1, and you have a fast pointer that moves with the speed of 2. Okay, so whenever they like collide, okay, wherever they meet, so that point is called as the collision point. And then after that what you do is, you again make your fast pointer in the starting. Okay, so you just push your fast pointer to the starting, and then what you do is you start moving. Okay, so now your slow pointer will be wherever it was, and now you start increasing, or you start moving by the step of 1, and wherever they meet, okay, so that is your answer. Now this is a really nice approach that we can apply over here. Okay, so I will be talking about it, but then there is also a very what you can say, more efficient approach than this. That is, what we can do is, we can just push these values inside the stack. Okay, so if I have 3 4 1 4 1, okay, so what I can do is, I will just push this 3 value inside my stack. Cool, then I will just push my 4 value inside my stack, then I will push my 1 value inside the stack. Now I will push my 4 value inside the stack, and again I will push my 1 value inside the stack. Now the thing, like the pushing, as I am pushing these values inside the stack, right, that only won't work. So my condition will be, if I have any number, okay, that is less than my current number, I will be removing those. So basically how my stack will work is, yeah, so this is my stack. So first I entered 3, now 4. Okay, so 4 is greater than 3, so no issues, we can push 4. Okay, then I have 1. Okay, now my 4 and 3 is less than 1, right? So I will be removing these two elements. Now I will be pushing 4, no issues. Now I will be pushing 1. Okay, so my 4 is less than 1, right? So I will be removing 1. Okay, and when I will end, so basically I will end when my top value, okay, and a number below it, okay, both of them are equal. So if that's the scenario, then in that case I will just exit, okay, and I will return that value. So 1 is the thing that got duplicated. Okay, so this approach might be a little bit tricky. Okay, so basically you guys can read it from this. Okay, the link to this PDF I will be providing. So you have something called as your Floyd's two-finger algorithm. Okay, that is the fast and slow pointer thing. And then you have your Nevash, or you can you also, this is called as Dutch algorithm, I guess. Okay, so this one is like the better than Floyd, and it is like 1.5 n, and the Floyd is 2n. Okay, so that's the thing. Now moving on to the like the solution part, right? So if suppose you guys want to see the Floyd approach, I will just like quickly mention it over here. So basically my first approach that I showed you over here, right, this doesn't work because you have like your constant vector over here, and that is the reason why I have to copy the vector. And what they have specifically said is that you are not allowed to copy the vector. Okay, so now what I will do is basically I will be trying to use the Floyd's approach, okay, or you can say the fast and slow pointer approach. So for that, let's just quickly erase this part. Cool. So now what I will do is I will start with making a slow and a fast pointer, okay, and my slow pointer will be at the first position and my fast pointer will be at the second position. Okay, so basically what I will do is, so I have my slow pointer, okay, that is equal to my a of 0, and then I have my fast pointer that is equal to my a of 0, okay, because I'm moving like 2 times. Okay, now what I will do is, while my s is not equal to f, okay, so while my slow pointer is not equal to my fast pointer, my slow pointer will increase with the value of 1. Okay, so my slow pointer will increase slowly and my fast pointer will increase twice. Okay, so my fast pointer will be increasing with the speed of 2. Now what I will do is basically as soon as I find the clash, okay, so now suppose if I find the clash, I will just get my fast pointer to the place where it's 0, and then I will just check. While my slow pointer is not equal to fast pointer, what I have to do, I have to just move my slow pointer with the value of 1, okay, the speed 1, and my fast pointer as well now with the speed of 1. Okay, so after collision, this is the thing that you have to remember, you have to move your fast pointer with the speed of 1, and then in the end you will just return, okay, you return your fast pointer or your slow pointer, it's up to you. Okay, so let me just quickly submit this. Okay, a was not required, oh sorry, a of f, a caps A. Cool. Okay, so this is done. Now I know I have like explained you a lot of, what is this, invalid int constant value type, aka constant int. Okay, so this is line number 11. So what am I doing wrong in line number 11? A of s, okay, not f, it's actually a of f. Cool. So I know like I have explained like all these logics, okay, different kind of logics. So the thing is, what we can do is I will just explain you slow and fast pointer again. Okay, so what I basically meant was, if I have this thing, okay, just give me a second. Yeah, now pen is connected. Now if I have 3 4 1 4 1, okay, so this was the example that we were moving on, right? So let's just like make it as 3 1 4 1 2. Okay, so now what will happen is basically I will like my slow pointer will have the value of a of 0, that is 3, and my fast pointer will have the value of a of 0, that is 3. Okay, now in the first step to find the collision, what we do is, while my s is not equal to f, okay, so how will I be moving my s? So this is my 3. Okay, now 3 will move to the other values, so basically I will be going up to a of 3. Okay, so now my a of 3 is, this is 1 0 1 2 3 4, so my a of 3 is 2. Okay, then I will be going to my a of 2, that is my 1, then I will be going to a of 1, that is my 4, and then I will be going to a of 4, that is my 1. Okay, so you can see like there is a cycle over here. Got it? So this is the thing that we are looking for. Now if you check in case of my fast pointer, what will basically happen is uh, f of 3, right? Now f of 3 and then uh, f of that value, so f of 2 is actually 1. Okay, so it will directly jump onto 1. Okay, then f of 1 is 2, and then uh, after that again f of 1 is 4, and f of 4 is 1. So basically it will come over here. Okay, so now you can see there is a clash. Now what we do is after this clash we just move our f2 over here and then my s2 over here. Okay, now if I move my f by 1 and I move by this s by 1, okay, then again if I move my f by 1 and my s by 1, they will collide at 1. Okay, and this one is my answer. Okay, got it? So this was the thing that I was trying to explain you guys. I hope you like the solution. So please do share, like and subscribe. Okay.